Before I begin this video, if you guys would like my full penis enlargement course for free, where I show you exactly how I gained over an inch in length using stretching, make sure to check out baseems.com. All you have to do is put your name and email address and you can get my full penis enlargement course for free. Check out baseems.com now. Yeah, so that's actually something I wanted to ask you. Is there something that you do besides belief that allows you to be rock hard? Because I know you don't take any medications to stay hard on set. Is there something you do besides the mentality? What about your diet? What about, do you do any jelqing exercises or, some sort of sports that allows you to stay that hard? Or is it all just in your head?
Well, it's a number of things. So let's kind of break that down. First, there is an aspect, I believe, in terms of longevity in how you take care of yourself. Like, I've always been a gym junkie.
Yeah.
I'm really religious on my diet. So I don't eat any processed food. I mean, when people actually sit and watch me eat, they kind of look at it like, how can you do this all the time? I'm like, easy, because it's a lifestyle, right? So there is an aspect of what are you doing on a daily basis that I firmly believe is going to allow you the longevity aspect. Now, if we're talking young kids in their 20s, that is purely a couple things. It is number one, mindset, because they have an inability to focus on what matters, an inability to block out the noise. And the second part that I see a lot is people aren't strategic in what they are doing. And that relates to all different areas of their life. They do not set themselves up for success. And this was something I really took to heart early on in my career. And I would just see how some of the greats would do that or do aspects of that. And so I found, okay, well, how can I take that to the nth degree? And to give you an example of what that would look like I've known guys that they would go out and party the night before that they got to do a scene. Or, they would decide they're going to fuck their girlfriend all night the night before they have to do an important job. And then they show up and they're 60%. They're 50%. Maybe they're 10%, and it's a disaster, right? I would never do any of those things. I mean, and so there's something that I talk about in my courses where I talk about the athlete's mindset and how you apply it to sexuality. Because, if you are Kobe Bryant, you're LeBron James, I'm sorry, Kobe Bryant's not doing cocaine all night before he's got to do game 7 of the NBA Finals. I mean, Kobe was religious for getting up at 4 a.m. and practicing. So where are you not putting the parameters in place for you to be successful?
Okay, so you're saying they should at least master the basics of eating right, training right, not doing stupid shit the night before, definitely not partying, no drugs, not staying up too late. So you're saying master the basics. There is not like a certain trick or something that porn stars do to be extremely hard and maintain their erections. There aren't like a set of exercises that they do and nobody else knows about that.
No, I mean, I've always been pretty religious about doing Kegel exercises, so I do that on a semi-regular basis. But no, there's no, unless you're going to, do what became something big in porno, where you're taking the pills or you're doing the injections or you're doing some stupid shit. It's all down to your ability of mindset, and specifically, I find. And because I've talked to some guys about this, and I can see where they don't fundamentally understand that they have 2 erections. And this is something I talk about a lot, and I've written about many times. I really discovered throughout my time, and I discovered it quite quickly, that you really have 2 separate erectile pathways. And most guys the problem, and I would say this is the problem of society at large, but you also see it within the porn industry as well, is people don't really understand that they have the ability to separate them. So, you have on one hand, you have what I call the erection of the mind, right? So this is the psychological erection. This is, you're making out with your girlfriend and you spontaneously get hard in your pants. Well, you didn't touch it. There was no physical stimulation. Why did you suddenly get hard, right? But you did.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with that is it's unrepeatable and unreliable, because you might make out with your girlfriend Monday, hard as a rock right away. You do it Tuesday, nothing happens in your pants. What changed? Same girl, right? Like, there's no difference. Well, we don't know what happened, right? Could be, who knows why your system decided today you are allowed to get a hard on, tomorrow we're not just going to spontaneously create one. So that's one pathway. And then you have a completely separate pathway, which is purely based on sensations. Nothing more. Only sensations and focused intent. And it's something I go into a lot with my clients, where I talk about the concept of maneuvers of consciousness, moving your conscious awareness around your body, because this becomes really important when it comes to facilitating a purely physical erection over time. But with a purely physical erection, you don't need to be horny, not necessarily.
Exactly.
You don't need to be beholden to the whim of God. I mean, there's so many things that are in your control. And so when you step back and you look at longevity, especially within the porno business, I always said, like, if I had relied on a psychological erection, I would have had a job for 1 week. Because sure, have I had some scenes where the director never got in the way and there was nobody that kept stopping things and you could actually have a spontaneous erection? Have I had some? Sure.
Yeah.
Not that many,
but
though.
not reliable.
Oh my God, not reliable at all. And you can see where, because what's interesting, especially when you're in the porno business, is you really get to see how fragile the male mind can be for a lot of people. My good friend and business partner, we did a lot of work together over the years, Mike John. He used to sort of joke, because he would watch me on set and he'd be like, he's like, man, you have like some sort of shield around you where no matter what arrows the girl is going to throw at you, they just bounce off. Because I just had that ability to focus on, okay, what am I feeling and what am I in control of?
Right.
And if you're focused on your body, what you can control, your sensations, your feeling, and you go 100% into that feeling, well, now you're not having thoughts. So we're trying to do two things. We're trying to go fully into being able to feel our body. And by doing that, we're also limiting any thoughts that we're having about whatever extraneous stuff that we don't need to be thinking about that is obviously going to harm us, because that becomes a slippery slope. As soon as you start getting those thoughts in your mind, like, I hope I get hard. I hope this works out. I hope I can last long enough. I hope she likes me. I hope. That's not useful. I hope is not conducive to a hard-on. Certainty and self-belief is conducive to a hard-on. And so we need to build that self-belief in ourselves, and that's sort of what we're trying to do on set, right? You're trying to build that self-belief.